Welcome back to consecutive day 982 of a diary of a runpreneur. And today I want to talk to you about my phobia of needles. So please give this a subscribe, share, like and comment, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise on my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon. All the information about the challenge and how you can get involved is in the link in the comments below. Thank you as always, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 982 of a diary of a runpreneur. And today I want to talk to you about my phobia of needles. So, I think I've spoken the last few days about I've had a minor health scare. And it was a little bit deflating to hear, especially with my lifestyle. Now, I would probably rate my diet 7 or 8 out of 10, so I'm not like completely amazing on my dietary intake, but pretty good, I'd say. Obviously average is 5, so I'm on the positive side of diet. Exercise volume or frequency, I'd have to be close to the 10s, maybe 9, for the amount of exercise that I do on a daily, consecutive and consistent basis, which is another contributing factor to a healthy lifestyle. I'm pretty good at sleep. I've been averaging 7.5 hours of sleep every day for as long as I can remember, so sleep is a big contributing factor. My fluid intake, well, I don't drink my calories. I either drink black coffee, mint tea or water, and I'd rate myself maybe 6 out of 10 in daily fluid intake. So by and by, I'm definitely well above average in lifestyle in terms of health. Positive health. And to go to my 40-year check and to get a report that I'm struggling with high cholesterol, and they were more concerned than they perhaps would be normally because of my lifestyle and how positive it is from a health perspective. So the cut and thrust of it is I've had to go back in this morning and I had a blood test, a fasting blood test, and they're going to test my lipids, which is the fat levels within my blood, which is a contribution towards my cholesterol levels. So I should find out maybe the next few days or so the results of that. And the long and short of it is I could potentially have to take long-term medication in the form of statins, which will break down the plaque in my blood cells, will lower my cholesterol levels to a more normal rate. But I've always been somebody who kind of always has said, well, my body will repair itself. If I treat my body well, my body will treat me well. And I like to kind of stand by that. I rarely take any form of medication other than hay fever meds, because sometimes it's just so brutal. I hate my hay fever suffering that I have to resort to eye drops and a nasal spray, but I don't take tablets. So anything that's kind of into my bloodstream, I try and avoid as much as feasibly possible. And it's always served me pretty well, to the extent that my last doctor's visit was 2009. So it's some 14 years ago. And that was actually a proactive doctor's appointment that my parents actually wanted me to go to test my diabetes levels and my cholesterol levels due to the health related issues within my family tree. And back then I was fine and everything. My cholesterol was still pretty high, just under the high threshold tolerance level. So it was something that hadn't really didn't have to do anything else, just keep an eye on it. And lo and behold, 14 years have passed. Now my argument is that my cholesterol levels may have gone up higher than they are today, and due to the last 3 years of exercise they may have dropped or been dropping back down due to my lifestyle. So I think what I'm going to do is, if they recommend that I go on any long-term medication, I'm going to potentially politely decline. This could be a risky process, but to then check in again 6 months later to see if my lifestyle is actually having an impact, because I'd love to give my body the chance to manage itself, as opposed to forcing unnatural medication into my system. But by and by we'll see what happens. I will keep you posted on this. It is very personal, but my diary. It's going to be pretty personal, and this is my information, nobody else's, and I'm comfortable sharing it. So as long as it doesn't I've always been quite conscious with my diary entries. Anything that would bring somebody else is private information into my diary entries. I will anonymise as much as I possibly can, if that's a word. Make it anonymous, so that obviously nothing can leak back to any individual who doesn't want to be spoken about in my tone. So on to my phobia of needles. It's my long-winded introduction, and had to have a blood test. And I think that, my fear of needles is, it's strange really, because it's not really that painful. It's a little bit uncomfortable when you get an injection or a finger prick or anything along those lines, but it's the thought process which mentally causes me kind of apprehension and anxiety that I'm going somewhere on my own goodwill for somebody to stab me with a sharp item. And it's that part that I hate, the build-up. It's almost like a build-up to a sporting event. When I used to play football or play squash or before running races, whatever, you get those nerves, that adrenaline. And I kind of get a similar thing before an injection or something along those lines. But I think the difference is you know, that adrenaline is getting you ready for something, exciting, or something you're looking forward to generally when you're competing in a sporting environment. But it's the polar opposite with having an injection or some medical care. And I think that's why I feel I have a phobia of them. But I think when you have them, you think, well, what was I worried about? Because you can barely feel it if you get the right practitioner injecting you or taking your blood. I've heard horror stories of taking blood with people not finding veins, but again, the beauty of being relatively fit and having good blood flow and blood pressure and everything, my veins are very easy to locate. They don't take a lot of work to kind of make them protrude quite dramatically. So it's very easy for the nurse practitioner to take my blood, but still doesn't make it any nicer when you see people that have been stabbed like a pin cushion because they've not been able to take blood. And it's quite sore if you do it multiple times in the same area. But lo and behold, first time, no drama, all went swimmingly. And I think that leads me on to the moral to today's story, and is that often the thought of something is far worse than the reality. And that's certainly the instance with injections or finger pricks or any form of medical care which results in some sharp item being inserted into your body. It's always a thought. It's a horrible thought, thinking of the process that somebody's going to, everything they go through, from the cotton wool to the wiping of the skin before they inject the needle into your skin. But the reality is that it's such a sharp item, you can barely feel it, and it's not that bad. And in most instances, it's doing some form of good to you, other than obviously if you're an aggressive drug taker, which obviously is doing something bad for you. But yeah, I'm talking about in the health profession. And the reality is, never as bad as you quite think. So, and that mantra can be applied in so many other ways in life. We work ourselves up into a frenzy about things, and then the reality is far less of an issue than what you perceived it to be. So that's the moral to today's story. It's not always as bad as you think it's going to be. But anyway, that's it for today. Any questions, comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Do remember to give this a subscribe, share, like and comment, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise on my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon. All the information is available in the link in the comments below and how you can get involved. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.